Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Renatus J.A.M. Number 96. 96.
Is that really?
This is number 96.
Nice, man. That's
Yes.
Axel Hodge's number.
Sure.
There's like one person out there that'll know what I'm talking about.
Great. That one person will appreciate. All right.
Yeah.
My name's Jay Stark, and joining me as always is my fearless co-host,
Mr. Matt Snyder.
Mr. Matt Snyder. You know, I don't know. There may be people. What are you laughing about? You're still on that Axel Hodges thing.
No,
all right.
Okay,
let's
that's
just move
it.
on.
He rides dirt bikes.
I could
that's
tell.
all.
I could
All
tell
right.
that smile. You were still stuck in your mind. All right. You know, let's do this. We lovingly named this the J.A.M. because it is the podcast featuring Jay and Matt.
Yeah,
J.A.M.
that's right.
And I'm not sure that our people knew that.
No, I don't think a lot of. I mean, unless you're around at the beginning, right?
In the
like
beginning.
back the like Troy Dunn episode. You know that.
Oh yeah, like
way back.
well, no, actually, number one was a national
Bob.
conference recap. Number 2 was with Bob, and
Yeah.
then I think number 3 was
That's
with
right,
Troy,
was with
if I
Troy.
remember it.
Yeah, yeah.
Dude, that's been a little while ago now.
But I think we explained it to Troy.
Oh, we
And that's-
probably did.
And I think
probably.
I think that was yeah. Why I'm.
Yeah, he made fun of us because he's like, "Your intro's not good enough. You should come listen to my podcast." And now I'd be like, "What podcast, Troy?"
Oh,
Yes, he did.
I'm gonna call the ambulance. We need somebody on the burn unit.
Oh man, Troy, I love you so much. You know what? He made fun of me from the front of the room. He deserves it at this point. So
About your beard
no.
or lack thereof.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's like, the lady beard's not working for you, you freaking fetus.
Yeah. Well,
He
he's
kept-
you're gonna grow it out and show him.
Yes, I am. I'm already about it. Like, let's see. Today's Wednesday, so I'm 3 days in.
Heck
This
yeah.
is it. We're gonna watch the progression of the beard now.
I'm stoked about this.
The beard's
So,
coming back, baby.
Yes, the beard is back.
The beard, the beard is back. Sorry, I don't know why that just hit the right tone with me.
Good.
You know, we spent last weekend at the Salt Lake Regional.
Yeah, we did.
And
That
it
was phenomenal, wasn't it?
Oh my gosh! First, huge props for Richard Stock and his team for what they put together. They used the theme building brick by brick, building my business brick by brick, something like that, and it was awesome.
This was above and beyond for a regional. This
yeah.
was quite I don't want to say literally, but it was as close to literal as you can get to a real national, like a mini national.
You know what? It really was.
Yeah.
Had a phenomenal MC though. That guy.
Okay, so
That guy brought the thunder.
I had multiple people come up to me and tell me how amazing you did at emceeing. No,
Really?
no kidding. Yes.
Nice.
And I had told you the very same thing.
Yeah.
Independently of what these other you just killed that, man. You did great.
You know, I love MCing. I love it. It is so much fun for me.
Yeah, you do really well with it. Like the humor was just on point. You had us rolling. Like there was like 3 different times I was just
I gotta admit,
and I remember one of them, I came in the room just a little bit late, and everybody's just like on the floor laughing. And I'm like, what is going on? And you're up there talking about like your wife and getting hit or something. I'm like,
yeah.
what's
Okay.
going on here?
That
I still
was
don't know
funny.
exactly what the full story was there. But yeah.
Well, I just said, you know, telling a joke a second time just doesn't have the same effect.
Doesn't land the same. Yeah.
But yeah, I tell you what, I think for the first time in my life, I actually got upstaged by Siri. Siri upstaged me.
Oh, really?
I don't even remember exactly what I said, but I said something like, "Does everybody understand?" And everybody said, "Yeah." Then there's a woman in the front row, and her phone heard me, and Siri responded with, "I'm sorry, I don't understand."
Oh, that's hilarious.
Oh my gosh. I was laughing so hard from stage that I started to cry. And you know when you do that laugh cry, then you try to stop yourself, and it just
worse.
gets worse.
Once you get to that point, you get rolling.
Oh, yeah.
And if you try and stop, it just makes it funnier.
Yeah, oh yeah. And then all the way in the back of the room, they hadn't heard what had happened.
Right.
But they heard everybody start laughing. So people in the back of the room are laughing,
But we don't
but
know
have
why.
no idea why.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
Kendall stands up and goes, "What's so funny?"
Yeah, that's true. It's like because there were a couple times where like I walked in late, or I was one of those going, "What is so funny? I don't get it." But yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, and I never asked, so this is the first time I've heard the series story. This is hilarious. Oh,
Yeah.
man.
It was funny.
I guess the benefit of being on the front row.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Come early, sit in the front.
Come early, but that national, I mean, the lineup of speakers.
You mean the regional?
Or yeah, see, look at what it did to my subconscious right there. That regional was phenomenal.
It absolutely was. And we'll talk more about that in just a minute, because I just realized that I wanted to add some more details, and I'm just going to wait until we bring out our featured guest.
We should do that. Yeah, you're right.
So the good news is there's one more regional left,
Yes, there is.
and that's in Phoenix.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a really good time of year to go visit Phoenix, and it's right now.
No kidding. I wonder what the
The temperature is in
Yeah,
Phoenix.
I'm gonna look it
You know
up.
what? They're probably enjoying a cold snap. It's probably like, low
Cold
80s.
A cold snap. That's funny.
Right? We get a cold snap in Utah and it drops into the single digits.
All right, look at this. Phoenix, Arizona. Tomorrow is 71 degrees.
Oh,
Friday, 71 degrees. Saturday, 71 degrees.
oh, man.
Sunday, 71
All right.
degrees.
You gotta stop. You gotta
Dude,
stop.
it's every day the regional's taking place. It is 71 degrees and no clouds. Like there's just no clouds on. This is Google. I just went Arizona weather, and Phoenix comes up, and that's hilarious. It drops down to 70 degrees on Tuesday. So
Whoa.
it's a bummer.
Man, that's like nice temperature right there.
70 is perfect.
70, 71.
Especially because
Oh, yeah.
it's 70 and the sun is shining. Like it's that you walk outside
Oh, yeah.
and it kind of
So it's kind of warm, but still kind of cool.
yes, and
yeah.
it's the sun's infrared, not infrared, infrared rays.
Or infrared for any of those who don't
Yes.
like to,
Yeah.
pronounce every
That
syllable.
they could. Oh man, that was good. You got me.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I'll be here all day.
Oh man, we're gonna get slap happy before we get our guest out. So,
Well.
dude, that's funny. But yeah. So you've heard of infrared rays. You've heard of them. Yes. All right. Cool.
Infrared.
All right.
All right. So,
Infrared.
oh my goodness, we're gonna have another like Utah time, Mountain time conversation
Founders
here in a second.
webinar.
Oh, stop now. All right. So Bill Predabon is actually hosting the Phoenix Regional. He has Zach and Sumari Ullman speaking. He has Ryan Black is going to be speaking. That's in addition to Scott Rowe. I know Bob Tierney's going to be there, Greg Kimball,
Kimball's
and
gonna
of
be there.
course
Bob Snyder. Yeah, buddy. Yeah.
So we
well,
have,
and I hear there's a surprise, or a not a. I shouldn't say
there
that
is
surprise
a
guest,
guest
but
speaker.
yes.
And so yeah, you're just gonna have to get registered for the Phoenix Regional and figure out who that is. But you should definitely, if you haven't had opportunity, take my word for it, it's worth it. If you have had opportunity to go to a regional, you already know that it's worth it.
Oh, yeah.
So just make the sacrifice, get there, and enjoy the ride, because it is a life-changing event. And as we said in Salt Lake over and over during the regional, this is where the belief is transferred.
Yes, it
right?
is.
We talked continually about the transfer of belief, and people left Salt Lake just filled with belief,
Including myself.
Oh, me too.
Man, I love what we do. And
Oh,
I
yes.
love seeing the lives that it changes for the better. It's really exciting, like
Yes.
it gets me. And it, I said it at this regional, but it really fills my cup, right?
Yeah.
And I think that you see the full scope of Renatus. When you go to these events, you really get what it is,
Yeah.
know? So,
Yep.
yeah.
Could not agree more. Nicholas Hiller getting down to 29 degrees tonight in Ohio, and that probably does not take into account the wind chill.
No,
So-
I doubt it. That whole section area of the country.
That's cold.
I spent a winter in Minnesota, and dude, it was in January. Half the days were -20 with a -40 wind chill for the low. It was something else.
Wow.
We actually got boiling water and threw it outside, and it froze before it hit the ground. We wanted to do that experiment, I guess, if you will, like, and see if it was real.
Yeah.
I mean, this was back before like you could YouTube something like that, so it was just a rumor about legends.
Wait,
People,
how
kids,
old are you?
No kidding,
You
right?
did things before YouTube?
Before the internet, so
Yeah.
kids like will never understand, like the concept of just like legends that just went on and on.
Right.
I mean, like when I was really little, the stuff my grandma would tell me, and then I grew up and looked them up, and I'm like, that's not true at all. Like there were so many things like that, but it was just legend, or
Wives' tales.
or sayings or wives' tales
Yeah.
handed down from generation to generation. Back when you had to go look up stuff in an encyclopedia. See, look at that. It's a lost art.
Wow. He can't
gone.
even say the word
It's
any
gone.
longer.
It's gone. They're dead.
All right, they're dead. They're not dead. They just
They're on the internet.
yeah, they're on the internet. All right, so here we go. The Phoenix Regionals, get there. If you're able to get there, it will be worth your time, your money, your effort to be there. So be there. Next up, I just wanted to make everybody aware of what the Renatus holiday schedule looks like, especially as we have Thanksgiving coming up next week.
What?
Thanksgiving is next week.
Crap, man.
Yeah. Crazy.
I didn't even realize that.
Yeah, it's next week. That's why I said it with emphasis.
I legitimately did not realize that. That is next week. Holy crap.
So here's what I wanted to
All
let
right.
everybody know. We are closed both Thursday and Friday for Thanksgiving.
Cool.
Just so everyone knows.
No, we're closed on Thursday for Thanksgiving and Friday for Black Friday. Just go watch. If you don't, I've
You know
never,
what?
I've never
I
participated.
tell you what,
but I have gone to watch.
you
just to
have
see
too
them.
participated.
No, I went.
You've been there.
because I went to watch.
You've been there when your wheel like froze up. Do you remember that?
Yeah, but I was not. I didn't buy a thing. I was
So-
literally just standing there, just.
Dude, listening to Garrett Gunderson talk about Black Friday, that was funny.
Oh man, I missed him talking about Black
Oh,
Friday.
He talked
What did
about
he
Black
say?
Friday. He talked about how, his wife woke him up at 3 o'clock in the morning so that they could go get in line and freeze. And then they shoved their way into the store. And then like a fist fight broke out over some item that was discounted $15.
Yes,
And he's just like, this is not worth 15.
it's not, and it's nuts. So I mean, if you're gonna go watch, you go watch at a Walmart, because it seems like all the chaos happens at the Walmarts. But I went to the Clinton Walmart that one year, and then the other one was the Riverdale
Yeah.
Walmart,
Yeah.
where my wheel froze up, and I had a cop yell like as loud as he could, yelling at me to move, like, and I couldn't. It was so cold outside that anyways, it doesn't matter. My wheels froze up and they wouldn't even work, and so I drug my back end just as I pulled out my front wheel drive car. But no, I watched one year and it was mind-boggling.
Yeah.
And there was a stabbing on one side of the store and a fight on the other, which is actually why the cops showed up.
And it probably didn't even slow down the chaos.
It
probably just.
didn't stop a thing.
Yeah. So here's the deal. We are closed Thursday and Friday, not in honor of Black Friday.
No, but
instead,
you should just go and see it. It's fun.
Oh, you're killing me.
It's like watching Jerry Springer. All right, I'm sorry. I've taken us way off.
All right, man. Here you go. Until you can tell me what city the term Black Friday came from, no more Black Friday talk.
I can't.
All right. The next thing that I want to bring up
Yeah.
real quick
Yep.
is that on December 1st, we are beginning the ICM renewals.
'Kay.
So that is a mere 2 weeks away.
That it is.
So on December 1st, the ICM renewal will pop up in everybody's back office, giving them an opportunity to renew their ICM agreement.
Okay.
This is an annual cost, and what we do with the money is that's what supports the development in the back office for the year. That's what continues to support our customer advocates and make sure that we continue to produce or to create the best possible care that we can for all of our customers.
Yep.
And man, I just lost my other thought. Anyway, as an ICM, if you signed up before June 1st in this year, or if you renewed from the previous year, then on December 1st, the payment will be $197.
Mm-hmm.
If you signed up after, so on or after June 1st,
Mm-hmm.
and before
October. I believe it's October 1st.
Yeah. Then it will be $125.
Yep.
And then if you signed up on or after October 1st, there will be no cost. However, you will still need to sign the ICM renewal agreement.
And that's the biggest one we have issues with is people who do that and know or are aware that there's not a fee to renew will think that it'll automatically renew. It doesn't. You still have to renew. You still have to sign the agreement. You just won't have to pay anything when you do.
Yep. So it's funny. I didn't even put it out there as a trivia question, but Mr. Nicholas Hiller got it right.
The Black Friday thing?
Yep.
What is it?
Philadelphia.
Really?
Yep.
Why?
So it had to do with the number of accidents that were caused on the day after Thanksgiving. So a police officer started calling it Black Friday because it was just his worst day to work because of all of the accidents, all of the crazy people and congestion everywhere. So he started with the Black Friday thing. And then some urban myth got started that Black Friday actually represented the first day of the year that a retail store went back into the black. And so retail started leaning into it.
Yeah.
Nothing to do with that at all.
Wow. Well, they sure have figured out how to make a lot of money off of it.
Oh, yes, they have. All right. So December 1st, we have the ICM renewals.
Yep.
Now, Mr. Snyder,
Yes.
in your experience, in our collective experience,
Yeah.
how soon should somebody renew?
December 1st.
They shouldn't wait, but they have until the 31st.
I would not wait.
Why not?
Well, because stuff happens and people procrastinate, and January 1st comes around and people are like, hey, why does none of my stuff work? And I get that call, all the time. Customer service now gets that call all the time. But it happens often. Matter of fact, that week after New Year's, that's most of the calls we're getting are surrounding that kind of stuff.
Yep.
Yeah, and it's like you didn't renew. You got to go in and you got to handle this. But I would want to get it out of the way. I mean, this is just a personal thing now, but anytime I know that there's money that needs to be spent, I do it instead of wait, because you just don't know what's going to happen down the road anyways. But so it's like if I'm at Costco and I know I need a case of protein shakes, I'll just buy 2, because guess what? Next month I'm going to need a case of protein shakes, and I already know I'm going to need them. So,
right.
So that's my thought process. I would get that December 1 renewal. I'd get it out of the way.
Get it
I
out
don't
of
have
the
to
way.
worry about it, because the pain and anguish, especially those that have a team or are 5-star. Oh my gosh, I would not risk losing that just because I procrastinated. That's a dangerous procrastination.
Yep.
And it's happened.
It has, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And it hurts my heart every single year when we take that call and they're just like, wait, I didn't know, or I didn't remember, or I forgot, or I got sick, or I got into a car
It's like
accident.
we put it out on the Founders webinar.
Live.
And we talk about it on the podcast. We put it out there in every which way, shape, or form we can possibly put it out.
And it shows
emails,
up as a pop-up
the
in
Facebook
your
page, pop-up,
back
pops up
office.
in the back office. I mean, there's like 9 different ways we try and get the word out, but some, I get it. Human nature procrastinates, but
True.
I'm just saying don't do it.
Yep.
And come January, we got people freaking out.
Yep.
So
And the office is going to be closed on January 1st. So don't be that guy who's trying to do stuff on January 1st and can't because they didn't renew.
that's right.
All right. ICM renewals. We talked a little bit about what the holiday schedule looks like. We talked about Phoenix. I got 2 other things to talk about real quick.
Okay, let's hear them.
One is on, you know what? I'll do this in this order. On December 14th, we have an opportunity to hear Mr. Garrett Gunderson come into our studio for an ICM only broadcast. Now I say ICM only, but
There's
really
another qualification there.
it's a little bit more specific than just ICM only.
Yep.
This is Spartan only.
You must be a Spartan ICM.
You must be a Spartan ICM to take part in this training. It will be broadcast through the back office, and it will be a training that is specific to helping us understand and really identify and work with the different he doesn't call them profiles of money. That's what I started calling
It's like
them.
your association with money, but I don't know what he calls them.
I can't remember exactly what he calls them.
It's really phenomenal. I mean, especially because beforehand I would have been like, I don't know if I really need to like figure that out.
Yeah.
And then I go through it and I'm like, yeah, I needed to figure that out.
Oh yeah. And every time I watch him, so he was at the Salt Lake Regional, and he did an hour-long training. And it's really great because Garrett came in and spoke at no cost to us to come in and train our people.
Mm-hmm.
And he absolutely created a new frame for me around how to envision the way people look at and work with money.
Yeah.
And I love that.
I do too.
Love it.
Yeah. So that'll be for Spartans, but you're saying it's online, but will there be a studio audience?
We are allowing, if you're local or want to be local on the 14th and are a Spartan, you are invited to come into the studio to take part in the live recording.
Do those people need to let us know first?
Yes. Yes, they do.
Okay.
That's a good point that we need to find out who's going to be here.
Yeah, we should know.
Wow. Well, yeah, thanks for bringing up a good point right in the middle of a live broadcast so that, you know.
Yeah. You know, sometimes I like to just pull the curtain back.
show the hamster in the wheel.
That's right. No, yeah, we need to. So if you're coming, what? Email us, or will we put an event on the calendar?
I think we'll actually put a second event on the calendar.
All right.
For in-studio audience
Let's
registrations.
Do that. In studio. So we're going to put a thing on the calendar, an event on the calendar.
Yep.
So I don't know, probably by tomorrow, I would imagine. It won't take long.
You know, let me make a note here real quick so I don't forget.
Make a quick note. But that we'll get that up so that we know who to expect. So there'll be registration.
In Matt's email.
Yep. Yeah, you can send
for him to create the event on the calendar.
There you go. We'll get it up.
For Spartans.
Mm-hmm.
We are Sparta. All right. So that's coming up on December 14th. If you are not yet a Spartan, fret not.
Fret not.
Fret not. On December 6th is our next opportunity to take part in the 10-day challenge and to create our latest and greatest batch of Spartans. It will not end. The next 10-day challenge actually ends on the 15th, which is the day after. But if you are caught up, if you are like day 9 ready on December 14th, then you'll be invited to take part as well.
Beautiful.
Yes.
That's cool.
Yes. One more opportunity to get qualified.
So there you go. You want to be at Garrett's thing, getting that 10-day.
Yeah.
And to go find that 10-day, go to the facebook.com.
Don't go to the facebook.com.
I wonder if it reroutes, because that's actually what it used to be.
I know, way back in the day.
But go to Facebook and search out Renatus 10-day. Just in your search bar, you'll find groups. You want to find that group, join it. And that's how you get started with the Renatus 10-day challenge.
Yep. All right, last announcement is on December 5th.
What's up?
We are announcing the first group of Renatus 5-star winners in the new modified contest.
Oh.
December
that was on the 5th.
That is on a Founders Live broadcast.
Oh
See what I did there?
I
called it by the correct name.
the Founders webinar, Monday
Founders
night,
Live,
December 5th.
Monday at 4 p.m. Mountain.
Utah time.
I feel like I have this incorrect echo going on right now. Like I say one thing and he says it wrong.
All right, so that's going to be really cool, though. I can't wait. I mean, I'll know the results before, though. But the rest of you... Because that's a fun surprise, man, when you can go through, especially when they start doing this at the end. I love it when that happens.
We locked it up, And so it's been locked for 2 weeks now.
Okay.
And we haven't let it. Actually, it's been locked a little bit longer than that because we inadvertently didn't have the Founders Live on the 31st of October.
Because of Halloween.
Because of Halloween. So it's actually been locked up for 1 week longer.
That's awesome.
But
okay.
Yeah, it's been fun to watch and see as people have continued to push. But I'm really excited for this for the Founders Live on December 5th. But I'm really excited for this jam today.
Yeah.
Because as of the last time that it was broadcast, one of our 5-star contestants is on the line with us today.
I believe that he was leading up there.
I think he was number
two. Number 2 on the list at the time it froze.
At the time that it froze.
All right.
No more information provided.
That's right.
But I tell you what, we went to the Salt Lake Regional, had an amazing 2 days of opportunity not only to hear the inspirational stories and testimonials and life-changing events that have taken place with everybody who was there, but we also had opportunity to take part in the Thursday night presentation the day before. And I had, to this point, never met the presenter face to face.
Which is crazy.
Until that week.
Yeah.
And so I'd never seen him actually present. And at that Thursday night meeting, he worked magic. It was magical to see him present and to share with such authenticity, with such love, and with such passion that my belief was increased because of his belief in what he was sharing.
Man, that's awesome.
Awesome.
You got me fired up just with this intro.
Well, I tell you what, today we have the very unique pleasure of having on the call with us none other than Mr. Jason Nedrow. I feel like, man, we need an applause track.
I was thinking, yeah, no kidding, right? We totally do need an applause track.
Because there are thousands of people at home right now just clapping for you.
That's right. I am right here.
I'll clap.
Thanks for coming on, Jason.
Yeah, truly.
Appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
Yeah, thanks for having me out, guys. I am so excited. I know I was supposed to be on here last week, but Jason, my business partner, filled in for me, and him and Kendall did a great job. And so I'm just grateful for this privilege, and it's just fun getting a chance to be on here with you guys. And like you said, Jay and Matt, both of you, I love Renatus. I love this company with all my heart, and Bob and you guys, and it's just amazing. So
awesome.
Thank you. It's mutual.
Yeah, truly. And I appreciate the way that you presented, and you talked about community building. Where did that come from? Where did you come up with that idea? How did that all start?
I'd love to take credit for that, but Jason Andrus was the one that came up with that. So we were doing a training a few months ago, Super Saturday, and he didn't even tell me and Kendall about this. He just got up there and he's like, I don't ever want to hear you guys talk about marketing again. We're community building. We're building a community. And I thought, man, that's awesome. And because we all know that so many times we have these mental beliefs that don't serve us, these negative limiting beliefs that prevent us from doing things, and there's really no validation or no real life support that or evidence to back those beliefs. They're just made up stories in our head.
Right.
And so sometimes we have these stories or beliefs around sales or marketing or just all sorts of different things in life. I mean, relationships and health and fit. I mean, it's every area of our lives. And so a lot of times I believe people get stuck on the community building because in their mind it's selling or marketing, and they may have some negative associations with that from their past, when in reality there's no evidence to support that. It's just, again, these stories. And so when you start to reframe it, that's really what it's all about. is taking some of these negative beliefs and reframing them in our minds in a way that serves us and actually helps us to achieve our goals and become the best version of ourselves, then, we can move forward, because oftentimes, we're stuck. And so I thought it was brilliant. I'd love to take credit for it, but no, that was Jason. And he didn't even warm us up to the idea. He just got up there, and Kendall and I were like, holy cow, that's great. It'd have been nice if we'd known about it before you got out there and trained on it.
Right. But that is brilliant.
It really is.
I truly love that. I've caught myself doing the same thing, putting some labels or beliefs, limiting beliefs in place with no evidence to, you know what I mean? Like, it's like, why did, you start to get retrospective and look at yourself and go, crap, why is that even there?
You know what the worst one for me is when I assume I know what my wife is going to say.
Oh, yeah, I'm bad at that.
I'm horrible with that.
Yeah.
I've been married to her for almost 20 years.
And you still don't know what she's going to say.
And I get it wrong 50% of the time.
Yeah.
Where I'm just like, I think I know how she's going to react, and it's just not the same.
That's with everybody, right? Like, I can think of so many people where I think I know how they would react to whatever.
Right.
And they surprise you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
absolutely. So Jason, let me ask you this question. I know that you and Jason Andrus and Kendall Stock have been working together now and have been creating a lot of momentum and and I'll come back in just a second here to kind of the impact that you had here at the Salt Lake Regional. But I know that you've been creating a lot of momentum there in your area. We've been calling it the Southeast Idaho area. Tell me, how did that come about? How did the three amigos get together?
Yeah, so earlier this year, I just had this prompting that kept coming to my mind to reach out to Kendall. So, Kendall is some of you may know, he was the guy that actually brought me in the business clear back in 2005. I was the first guy that he brought in the business. And I'm so grateful for that. It's a really cool story around that. But Jason was the first guy I brought in. We've kind of touched base, the three of us, we've briefly touched base throughout the years. Kendall and I, we reconnected back in 2018 for the first time in quite a while, but we kind of lost touch after that for a few more years. He's been in California for a very long time, and last winter, I just happened to bump into him at at the tire store, another tire store here in town. And hadn't talked to him for a few years, hadn't seen him, and it was great to get reacquainted. But then earlier this year, I just had this prompting, and it wouldn't go away. So I finally just reached out to him and said, hey, let's go to lunch. And that was, I think, March or April. So we went out to lunch and spent like 3 hours, and I had really no motive there. I just wanted to. I had some other ideas about a different business, and we got talking, and I wanted to pick his brain a little bit. And I don't know, towards the end of that conversation, I just had another prompting. I was like, man, let's get back in Renatus, man. Let's rebuild this thing. And he loved the idea, and he'd mentioned that him and Jason had been communicating a few weeks prior to that about the same exact thing. So it was really, absolutely divine intervention, because I just feel like at the same time that they were already communicating, I was being prompted. And so right after that lunch, he reached out to Jason Andrus. And Jason loved it, so we just started getting together every week doing masterminds, and we've been doing that consistently ever since then for months and months, and that's been so powerful and so valuable every week. We were doing it twice a week, and then the last couple of months we backed off to once a week just because our community's growing, we're getting busier. That weekly mastermind has been priceless, and every time we do a mastermind, we start out with a prayer. And I can't tell you how many times we have said to ourselves over the past several months that we know without a doubt that we're getting a lot of help from God, a lot of divine intervention. The ideas that we come up with and just the thoughts, we know that we're getting a lot of help. And so yeah, that's basically how we reconnected. Like I said, we've kind of touched base here and there over the years, but nothing like this. And so it started earlier this year, and we love working together. I love those guys. They're like my brothers. We work really, really well together. We have so much fun, and we each have our strengths and bring value, and it's been incredible. I love it.
Man, that's awesome. I love hearing about it, but then even better, I love being with all three of you and feeling the mutual appreciation that you guys have for each other, the positivity that you guys bring in every circumstance, and the energy that comes with you.
That's what I was gonna say. The energy you guys have, you guys are contagious. You just want to hang out. Like, I get around all three, and I'm like, man, I just want to hang out with you guys. You're just having a good time. Like, it's an energy thing. Like, it's a light and fun. Like, hey, whatever, joking around or whatever. Right. I love it.
I can only imagine that a number of people are attracted to you guys, to what you're doing, because of the amount of fun that you're having doing it.
Probably, like, legitimately.
Yeah.
It's just, you want
totally.
I even if I didn't care about real estate, I'd be like, I just want to go hang out with those guys. I'm gonna come down.
We've actually had people say that.
Really?
Like, yeah.
That's pretty.
I just want to be around you guys. So you guys you're spot on. There is something really special about our relationship, and just we all have different personalities and, like I said, different strengths, but we just work really well together. And I share this on I do a daily success webinar every day for our team, and I shared this a few weeks ago because I believe in the mastermind. I mean, we all know the concept of the mastermind. Napoleon Hill talked about this, where when two or more come together, there's another mind, the mastermind. You can call it God or the spirit or the universe, whatever. But I believe that the ideas that I come up with in our mastermind, I can't take full credit for that, because I probably wouldn't come up with those ideas if I wasn't part of this mastermind. It's the energy and the synergy. Because of them, what they do for me, I'm able to come up with ideas that I wouldn't come up without being a part of that mastermind with them. And same thing with Jason and Kendall. I truly believe that. It's like none of us completely own those ideas, because it's just that mastermind, that power of the mastermind. And I would really emphasize that to people. It's like, this is one of the reasons why when you talk about, or when you study Napoleon Hill's, 17 principles of success, it's the second thing on the list. Definitive purpose is number one. Number two is mastermind alliance. It's because it's such a powerful thing that you can do. I mean, you'll, as he talked about, you'll accomplish more in 1 year in a mastermind than you would an entire lifetime on your own. Mm-hmm. So I'd encourage everybody, if you're not part of a mastermind, put one together. And you don't have to be part of a group of people that are having massive success right now. I mean, it'd be great to be able to lock arms with guys that are already having success, but just get a mastermind, 2 or 3 of you. It doesn't have to be huge. You'll be amazed at the power and what it does for you individually and as a group, and just the momentum you can create. Right. I truly believe. I mean, we talked about how each one of us, try to do this ourselves. It would just take so much longer, and it'd be so much more work. And the reason we're able to get the results we're getting is because of this mastermind and working together. And so I encourage everybody to do that.
I think the matchstick analogy applies, or like 2x4s.
Yeah, the 2x4. Woody's always talking about that.
Yeah, I can't remember the weight. Do you? But like basically,
it's like
one 2x4 can handle, I don't know, let's say it's 400 pounds of pressure, but 2 can handle something like 1,000. So it's more than double, right? Like it's a compounding effect, and I've watched this happen over the years with people. people have a compounding effect when you're both working. You got a team working on something versus just one person. It's not, the team is not the sum of its parts, right? It's like there's something more to it than that, right? 3 people can do more than 3 times the work. It's weird. It's I love that principle though.
Yeah, it's just a synergy that gets created, and I've talked with all 3 of you about how you came together, and each one of you accredits, divine intervention and feeling prompted or feeling that push or that pull together to come together. Mm-hmm. And I love that you said, everybody should be out there creating this mastermind. Everybody should be finding opportunity to sit down and collaborate with other people, regardless of their current success level, understanding what their success level can be, and then just pooling your ideas together and really taking from it the best of what's there and then implementing it, right? I think, how important would you say, Mr. Nedro, in Renatus, according to Jason, how important is it that people take a good idea and actually, act on it versus just have a good idea?
Yeah, I mean, it's like Tony Robbins has always taught, the 2 most powerful things that are going to change your life is you have to make decisions and take action. And without the action, it's just a wish, and nothing's going to happen. So massive action. He's one of my favorite mentors I've studied over the years for probably 15, 20 years. And, when you go through his goal setting workshop, the first thing he talks about, when you make a decision or you set a goal, the first thing you want to do is follow up with action. Because if you don't follow up with action, you haven't made a true decision. And so many times
That's true.
we come up with ideas or goals or things we want to accomplish or projects, and we get distracted, we procrastinate. Human nature is to procrastinate, put it off. And if you think about it, what he's saying is exactly right, because if we put it off, it never happens. Well, it's like we didn't even make a decision then.
Yeah.
Because what good's a decision if we don't follow through, if we don't take action?
If you don't act on it, then you've just put some sort of wish into the air.
Yeah, it's just another to-do on your list that doesn't get accomplished. And so action is critical to your success, and that's the power of the mastermind. Again, man, there's so many benefits to a mastermind. It's just incredible. But that's one of the things, Jay, that you're hitting on. When you're part of a mastermind, you have more courage to take action and follow through and move forward with these ideas and these strategies that otherwise you wouldn't do it on your own.
Right. That's awesome. I like that confidence that comes from having a mastermind, a group of people that's supporting you, endorsing you, and really cheering you on as you're going about it. And one of the things that I loved from the Salt Lake Regional, one of the ideas that was taught and talked about was the difference between declaration and decision. Mm-hmm. And I feel like you just hit the key point, Jason. It's action, right? You can declare something all day long, but until you act on it, you haven't even made a decision.
Yeah.
That's the key difference right there. I love that.
You're just wishing.
Yeah.
You made a wish. That's what you did.
Right.
You didn't make a decision. You made a wish.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've heard the comment a couple of times that miracles are still, let's see, how is it? Men can move mountains even if it's one shovelful at a time. Uh-huh. We got to get busy. We got to take action, and that's when we can make massive things happen. Sorry, Jason, I didn't mean to cut you off. What were you saying?
No, I just validate what you're saying. And one thing I remind people of too, when you think of action, we often think of the physical aspect of it. But there's 2 types of action. There's the mental and the physical. And so, like I talked about this last weekend, when it comes to achieving goals and achieving our dreams, the physical will only take you so far. And, I shared the example of Roger Bannister. We talk about the 4-minute mile. And one thing that you never hear about that story is that he tried multiple times to break the 4-minute mile. He couldn't do it. And it wasn't until he started to imagine and visualize himself breaking the 4-minute mile, that's when he finally accomplished it. So I remind my team of all the time is like, there's a lot of people out there working hard doing the physical work. We all have heard the old saying, it's not about working harder, it's about working smarter.
Yep.
And so the physical is important. Don't get me wrong. You need the physical work. I'm not suggesting by any means that people just rely on the mental and sit in a chair and imagine and visualize and expect things to show up on their doorstep. What I am saying is to really maximize your life, to create the life that you want, achieve those, next level goals and dreams. You need both, because the physical will only take you so far by itself. The mental will only take you so far by yourself. But together, you become unstoppable. So when it comes to action, we have to remind ourselves that you need both the physical and the mental. There's a book that I just kind of elaborate on this, if you're okay with that.
Yeah.
There's a book that I just went through with Jack Canfield, and we know he's one of the guys in The Secret. But he talked about in there, I guess, with technology and stuff, they can obviously study the brain and learn these amazing things. And what they've figured out somehow or another is that 1 hour of visualization is equivalent to 7 hours of physical effort. Just because visualization is such a powerful force. And we've heard all the stories about Olympic athletes, professional athletes that visualize and imagine them winning, and they win. But he also talked about something that was really interesting too. They took a group of astronauts. And when it comes to doing this stuff, a lot of times people think, man, when it comes to achieving these goals or changing my life, it's going to be such a long, tedious process. And I remind my team all the time that you can change your life in 30, 60, and especially 90 days. I know that without a doubt. I'm not saying you'll be a gazillionaire within that time, but you can make a radical change in your health, your relationships, your finances, your business in 30 days, 60 days, and especially 90 days. I've done it. I've seen so many people do it. And to validate this, in this book, they took this group of astronauts, and they wanted to see how, being in space and all this stuff would have an effect on the body. So one of the things that they did is they put goggles on them, and the goggles literally turned their world upside down. Like visually, everything was upside down. You heard this story before?
I have. I love it.
I haven't.
And it's so cool. So they couldn't take them off at any time, day, night, no matter what they're doing, they had to wear these goggles. Well, so they wore them for several weeks, and obviously it was miserable. Here's what's happened though. Day 26, the first astronaut, his brain had adjusted to the environment and moved his vision right side up, even though he's wearing the goggles, to where everything was right side up again.
What?
His brain made up for the difference.
Wow.
And then right after him, one by one, every single one of the astronauts, no exceptions. Now you might, the skeptics might say, well, if somebody didn't, if it didn't work for somebody, that type of thing. No, every single one of them, it worked 100%. Within 30 days, 26 to 30 days, every one of them, their brain adjusted, made up for the difference, and their vision corrected, even though they're still wearing the goggles. They did a second experiment, and they said, okay, we're going to do the same thing, but halfway through the process, we're going to take part of the astronauts, we're going to have them take their goggles off for their day, and then after a day, put them back on, just to see if, that one day makes a difference. Well, lo and behold, by the time they got to the 30 days, the group that kept their goggles on, their eyes adjusted, their brain adjusted, but the group that took them off halfway through were still upside down. So they had to go a full 30 days, for their brain to adjust. So the lesson, the moral of the story there is 30 days of consistent, daily, writing down your goals, visualizing, or these things we talk about, or 30 days of not just the mental, but the physical effort is huge. That consistency is key. And missing a day, some people think, well, if I miss a day, it's okay. Not always.
Man, I love that story.
That's incredible. I had no idea.
Oh, yeah. I've heard it before, but I've never heard it quite in that context. And I love the way that you framed it, just saying, yeah, if you take them off for one day, you're basically starting over again. Yeah. You've just reset the clock. But 30 days of doing the same thing over and over and over, then all of a sudden you can start to rewire your brain to see the world in a whole new direction.
Yeah.
to see the world in a whole new light. That's amazing.
That is incredible.
Oh,
And you hit the
man.
nail right on the head, Jay. That's exactly it, man. 30 days. And that's the point that, that Jack drove home is you can reprogram your mind in 30 days. 30 days consistent effort of affirmations or writing down goals, or obviously there's multiple methods.
Sure.
And it's not that you need to use all of them. But 30 days you can reprogram your mind and completely view the world in a different way.
Yeah. The point is that your brain's malleable. It learns, and it will adjust and adapt. So make sure the input you put in over the next 30 days is consistent and where you want to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I have really focused in. I've zeroed in on the difference between principle and technique over the last 6 months. It's been something that's really, really front of mind for me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, which one is more important, the principle or the technique? The technique being how you do something, the principle being why you do something.
Right.
And it was really fun because Jason, as you guys came down, I had an opportunity to talk to the group and had that conversation with them. And there was one young lady with whom I disagreed. However, everyone else was on the same page with me, saying that understanding the why you're doing something is so much more critical than understanding how to do something. And it goes back to the same saying, you know, Bob has said often, you know, I'll take ignorance on fire versus intelligence
Knowledge on ice.
on ice. Yeah. And it's like, you know what? There can be people that are doing everything wrong, but if they do it with enough enthusiasm and they do it with enough belief, I want to join them.
Yeah.
Even if they're doing it wrong, it's like, you know what? You cannot. Yeah. And that's one of the things that I saw this past weekend was that transfer of belief. I saw so many people that came in that believed, but then their belief was just maximized throughout the weekend. It was just enlarged because of everything they were hearing. And I saw it and I felt it myself, just feeling like, man, I can do this. I got this. This is not just possible, but now it is probable and will soon become what's the word I'm looking for? When something is you can't stop it from happening. Inevitable. There you go.
Yeah.
Possible.
Yeah, I like that. You know,
probable to
ignorance
inevitable.
on fire is better than knowledge on ice when it comes to, to bringing that energy in.
Yeah.
I think knowledge on fire, though, is the ultimate goal.
Exactly.
And that's where I'm headed.
That's kind of, Jason, that's kind of what you were alluding to, is that when you combine, and you were talking about the visualization, and that's kind of where I see the principle coming into play, right? When you come into that point of just focusing so much on the belief, on focusing so much on why you're doing something, that if you then combine that with the technique, with how you're going to do it, then all of a sudden you become an unstoppable force. And that's what it really feels like you're building in your team now, is an unstoppable force.
Yeah, exactly, man. We love our team, man. We have such an awesome group of people, and we couldn't be happier. We're creating great success with our team, duplication, and they're getting results. And so it's just exciting to see what we're creating. And like you said, Jay, I mean, reasons come first, answers come second. Reasons, that's the fuel, that's the drive every day. That's what inspires and motivates you, even on those days when you don't feel inspired or motivated. But if you have big enough reasons, big enough why, like you're talking about, Jay, I agree 100%. That's the most important key, because if you have a big enough why, you'll figure out the how, to figure out the technique, that it'll show up. You're not going to stop no matter what. But yeah, we're excited, man. We're loving it, and what you guys are doing is absolutely amazing. We couldn't do it without you guys. Seriously, spending time with you guys at corporate this last week, meeting everybody and just seeing what you guys do. It's definitely a collaboration. We couldn't do what we're doing without you, and vice versa. It's a team effort.
That's awesome. Well, I know we're kind of above our time. Real quick though, if you wouldn't mind sharing, I know that I heard this a couple of times over the weekend about how when you first decided that you were coming down to the Salt Lake Regional, you guys said to yourselves, "All right, we're gonna bring 10 people with us." Mm-hmm. How did that escalate? How did that go over time, and how long did it take you before you really settled in on the goal that you ultimately achieved?
Yeah, I mean, our masterminds, we were thinking of what we're going to do and if we could, do promotion and stuff. But yeah, I remember that vividly. We were like, okay, let's set a goal for 10. Take 10 team members and their spouses down there with us. We filled that up in 2 weeks. And so we're like, holy cow. And then we're like, okay, what should we do? Should we bump up to 20? And we said, let's do 30. Let's do 30. And that was about the end of August, 1st of September, right around there, right around the beginning of the Winter Circle contest.
Yeah.
And we landed right on 30. I mean, just again, more point to when you set a goal and you put it out there to God and the universe. We landed on 30, and between them and their spouses, we had at least 50, 60 people down there, plus some guests.
Yeah. Oh man, that's so awesome. Because you got to put it out there and then work like crazy to make it happen. That's just, and it was. I mean, the people. It was fun because as we had him here in the studio, I asked him, "How many of you have been in Renatus like 6 months or less?" Almost every hand in the room goes up, and
that
it's
was
like,
cool.
okay,
Yeah,
this
that
is
was
fun.
Yeah, that's cool. I love it when it's like that.
Oh yeah. Well, I feel like you guys just infused so much energy into the Salt Lake Regional. I mean, not only did you and Jason and Kendall come down and bring your enthusiasm, your knowledge, and your heart with you, but you also brought a full team of people that were just ready to learn and absorb, and just it's what really pushed the Salt Lake Regional over the top, man.
Yeah. I appreciate that, man. We had a great time. Richard, got to give so much credit to him. Amazing leader, definitely the best of the best, and just love and appreciate him and his support. And again, just my business partners, Kendall and Jason, love those guys. I couldn't do what I do without them. They're amazing. Jason comes up with such great ideas. Kendall comes up with some great ideas, and we just love working together. And last of all, I just want to thank Bob. I mean, guys, I've been an entrepreneur for 25 years. And I absolutely believe, number one, that Renatus is the best of the best. I believe that with all my heart, and I believe we have the best leadership. I to this day, I haven't seen anybody like Bob. I have never met or heard about anybody. Bob is just an amazing leader. Just sometimes you take those things for granted, but man, every day I'm so grateful for Bob, and you're right up there with him, Jay. Just an amazing president. Just what you do, and you go above and beyond. You're always taking good care of us, and just can't say enough about you and how much we love and appreciate you, and Matt as well. I mean, every one of you. So thank you guys for what you do, and appreciate you guys. And we're just excited to make 2023 the biggest and best year for all of us.
Man, yes. Amen.
Me too.
Dude, I'm on board. Let's do this. I love the way that you speak with such energy and certainty and belief and conviction, and I'm just like, dude, I'm just right there with you. I want to get arm in arm and just take this thing as far as we possibly can. That's amazing.
Me too.
Jason, thanks so much for being here with us today. I cannot say enough good things about you, who you are, how you show up, the energy that you bring. I just appreciate you, and I very much appreciate you making time to be here with us on the Jam today.
Yes, thank you.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Right on. Well, thanks again, Mr. Nedro, and I want to give a shout out to Mr. Andrew James. Wow, Andrew, I forgot your last name for half a second. Who's been our producer as well, and we'll be back next week with another featured guest on the Renatus J.A.M. Don't forget, the reason why Renatus rocks is because of the many, many amazing people that are associated with it, and that means you're associated with us, and you're why Renatus rocks. So thanks, everybody. Renatus rocks.